After we finished the sexual idolatry DVD curriculum project, I started really seeking the Lord about what else could we do with video that could impact people. And the first thing I thought of was Intoxicated with Babylon and the message of it, but I didn't want to make it going through the book. I felt like the Lord wanted me to bring forth all new material, but along the same line. So that's how this whole series got started.
So one of the things that we had to do with a project this size was figure out, first of all, where are we going to film this thing? And we've pretty much exhausted everywhere on our campus. But somebody suggested, well, how about the Student Center? And it just so happened that the Student Center was on schedule to be renovated. So we decided to take a look at the renovation process and see how we can form that to our production needs with lighting and with seating and cameras and everything. So it was a big undertaking, to say the least.
One of the challenges we have with something like this is helping people who are immersed in the culture to see the reality of the spirit behind it. It reminds me of quitting smoking. You know, when you're a cigarette smoker, you can walk into a smoke-filled room, it doesn't even faze you. But once you quit smoking and you go in that room, now suddenly you see the reality of what that cigarette smoke has been doing to your body. And it's very much that way with the culture, with the world, the spirit of the world, through television, internet, social media, all the different ways the world gets its message into us. It's like that. When you're totally immersed in that mindset, you can't discern what is happening to you. You have to pull away before you will have the discernment to see what the enemy is doing and how he's affecting you.
Oh yeah, so we don't even, well...
You just need to record me, right? The reason we're adding bonus material into these DVDs is because each DVD has a message, and we want to communicate that message in different venues, so it isn't just sermons, which are great, but it also will be in the form of other kinds of things like man on the street interviews or testimonies or documentaries or whatever. This was very...
We just got done filming a testimony of a residential program graduate, and it's very powerful because testimonies obviously give that realism, and these are true stories, and so it really connects very quickly to those who are going through the same struggles, and it can communicate the exact same freedom that we've all experienced through Pure Life.
I think this new DVD series is going to be really good for those people dealing with sexual sin, because let's face it, their life of being immersed in the world has created the perfect incubator for sexual sin to take root and to flourish. And so to be able to be affected by the Lord to the point that they will start fighting against that desire to always be in the voice of the world, in the mindset of the world, is going to help them to cut off the enemy's voice that has led them into sexual sin in the first place. It's just a huge part of overcoming sexual sin.
So basically, everything from last week. Yeah, so with a project like this, there are a ton of logistical components that need to be managed. In pre-production, we were looking at what's the look of the series gonna be like, and then we wanted to tie that look into the actual video set. Plus, we had to construct the set, and we needed people to come up with the content for the series, that's sermons and bonus materials and copy for the back of the DVDs. From there, we move into production, and obviously that's on video. But then beyond that, we have to package it, we've got to advertise it, we've got to distribute it. So my job was mainly to manage a lot of the moving parts, and yeah, God oversaw the whole thing.
Anytime I take on a project that I feel is significant, I always bathe it in prayer, not just myself, but the staff. And I always fast, usually for several days, because it's so important to really get the mind of the Lord, get his heart, and have a clear avenue of communication between the Lord and myself to be able to communicate what he is putting into my heart. So we always really establish everything in prayer before we take on something like this.
The desires of your heart, the drive of your heart, it's all the same thing. It's what we're putting our heart, the focus of our hearts upon.
Yeah, I thought the filming went pretty awesome. It was just a great atmosphere to be in, and you seeing the lighting and the background, it was just something new for us on campus. I definitely felt like the Lord was there. The presence of the Lord was definitely tangible. It was just really focused in, zeroed in, and we didn't know what was going to happen, but you could definitely tell that the Spirit was going to do something. We just didn't know what.
So one of the ways that I've seen the Lord work a lot is behind the scenes. And one of the things that I saw him do, and this was through Brother Nate. Brother Nate came to us one day and said, hey, we got to make a schedule. And so he did, because there was this really overwhelming task to do this project. And so the Lord laid it on his heart to make a schedule of all of these tasks and assigned us tasks. And it was very easy to figure out what to do next. It made it very simple. We weren't confused. And so as each week went by, we just look at our tasks, get it done. Next week, get these tasks done. And before we knew it, the day was upon us where we needed to order the DVD. We had to go through a review process. We had some minor changes to do at the end, but all in all, it finished not just on schedule, but 3 days before schedule.
Yeah, I'm really excited that we have finished 2 of these DVDs now, and they will be available soon. And it's such an awesome thing to see. All the months of prayer and preparation and work is finally culminating in a product that we can put in people's hands and know that the Lord is going to use these DVDs, these messages, and so on to affect people's lives. What a blessing that really is to us.